Hi guys, it's Dana. Good morning to you. Okay, we get to do a button spine today and sew our signatures into our little golden book journal. But before we get started, I happen to run across these cute little Christmas cards in my stash and I want to put them in the signatures of our book. So I just want to find a space for those before we start. Someplace cute that's maybe not up against a lot of pattern. Maybe like right here. Let's see what else we have. We already have some short pages there. Okay, that might be cute there. Or do I like it better there? I like it here. So we'll put that there. That's super cute. Okay. This one is going this way, but that's okay. It's still cute. I'll just kind of put this in the same spot in this signature. Okay. The first thing I want to do is kind of get my signatures situated the way I want them. And by that, I mean making sure that my pages are sitting the way I want them. Okay, that all looks good. Looking good. Kind of push our folder up a little bit. There I go. Pull that page down a little. Or Edith Holden needs to move. Okay, that all looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip this into place. And I'm gonna hold my, I'm holding the spine, I'm holding the pages as tightly as I can together. And then I'm just gonna clip them. And I only have enough clips to clip one signature together, so we'll sew this one in and then we'll clip the other one together. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm turning it around and do the same thing to this side, pressing into the spine so everything's as tightly into the spine as I can get it. Clip, then I'll go up here. And then we'll go here. Again, pressing into that spine. Get everything down into that spine as close together as we can. Okay. And we'll put, okay, this isn't sitting quite right. So I'm gonna just kind of adjust my clips a little bit. See how the page is kind of buckling there? I don't want that. It's gonna mess my holes up if I keep it like that. So just loosening the, there we go. That's better. Not great, but better. So let's fix it. There we go. Okay, good, good. Okay, so we'll set this stuff aside. Okay, so here's the way the buttons work. Actually, let's do this first. Okay, what I've done is kind of make a map of my spine. Okay, so this fits in here just like this on our spine. And what I've done is I've made it as tall as my pages, not as tall as my spine, because I want to be able to use this same map to make my holes in my signature. That way everything matches and sews in the way I want it to, okay? So I'm gonna, what I did, this is a 2-inch spine. Okay, so what I did was I used a pencil. So this is 2. I've got this 2, and it's by 7 3/4 because that's how tall my pages are. Then I made a line, cutting it in half at 1. Okay. Then I found my middle point and drew a horizontal line, and then I just did 3/4 of an inch from the top and from the bottom and drew my lines horizontally. Then 1/2 inch in, from this edge, I made a dot, and 1/2 inch in from this edge, I made a dot because we have 2 signatures. So I'll have an inch between my signatures, and I'll have a 1/2 inch on each side. So that's plenty of space, it should be. So I did that on each of our lines here, and then I poked the holes. So that's my little map, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab a couple of clips here. I'm gonna center this top to bottom, and I'm just gonna kind of clip it into place so it doesn't move while I poke my holes. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take my awl and I'm just gonna poke my holes. Okay, 2 more. Let's get these 2. Okay. So we have our holes. You probably can't see them, but I can see them. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pencil, and this should be the length of my pages, and it is. Some of them. I'm gonna kind of center it there. And right in the middle, this little clip is in my way. Right in the middle on my fold line here, where this horizontal line is, I'm just gonna make a mark right there. And I know where to punch my holes. Okay, so that should match up perfectly with the holes I spaced on my spine because I used the same grid, okay? I hope all that makes sense. Okay, now for the buttons. What I did was I went through my Christmas, I'm gonna use this because this will make more sense. We're gonna do a pamphlet stitch. So on our spine, our thread is gonna run here and it's gonna run here on both sides, okay? So what I did was I went through my Christmas buttons and I picked buttons that I thought I'd want to use. And what I did was I laid them out the way I thought I'd want them to go. So I'm hoping all these will fit. They should. And I want to make sure they fit in the spaces where our threads are going to go. So what I've got are 3 big ones here. And then I'm going to have 2 on this side. Okay, really cute. And then down here, I'll have 3 on this side. And I'll have 2 on this side. Like that. And that's how it's gonna lay out. Okay, so you need to pay attention. So this is the first signature. This is the second signature. Okay, so what we're sewing in is our first signature. So I'm gonna work with these buttons. Okay, now this process can be a little fiddly. So I'm going to talk you through it the best I can. I'm going to move my little button map over here to the side. Okay, I'm going to thread my needle. And I'm going to take probably, because we're sewing buttons in and that's going to take up some of the space, normally I take 3 lengths, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a little bit more, okay? And I chose to use this cute green thread because we've got a red spine and I thought that would be cute. So I'm going to thread my needle. Okay. And like I said, this is going to get a little fiddly. So bear with me. Okay, so my first signature goes here. I want to make sure my book is right side up, and then my signature is right side up. I'm going to come through the center hole. Oh, would help if we punched our holes in here, huh? Let me grab my book cradle. I'm going to try and sew through a signature that doesn't have any holes in it. I'm just going to push that down into my book cradle. And I'm just punching the holes exactly where I've marked them. Oops, sorry, I just bumped you. Okay. I love this thing. I don't know how I did journals for so long without it. Okay, now, cover right side up, signature right side up. We're gonna go through the middle hole. Right here, I'm gonna go through the middle hole in the first set of holes, because this is my first signature. All right, and I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna leave a little tail. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I saw somebody do this and I was like, that's genius. She unclipped her signature and she clipped her thread in the clip. So I'm gonna do that and see if it holds. Because I thought, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that before? So your little tail doesn't go anywhere, as long as you don't pull too hard. Okay, now, what I would normally do at this point, I'm gonna turn this around so it's kind of laying on its back here. Normally what I would do is I would go into the top hole here, right here. That's how I would sew it in, but we have to put our buttons on, okay? And this is the top part, right here, of the first signature, okay? But I'm coming in from the bottom of the top part. Do you see that? I'm down here. So I'm gonna take the bottom button, okay? And what I wanna do is, this has got 4 holes in it. So it's gonna sit a little diagonally. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna thread my button on, okay? And then I'm gonna kind of move it to where I want it to sit. Like right about there, okay? Then I'm gonna take my next button and I'm going to thread it on. And I'm going from the bottom of the button, then through the top. Okay, thread that button on. I kind of move it generally where it's going to go. And then I'm going to thread into my hole here. Through my signature. Like this. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of pull it tight, and then I'm going to take a look. There we go. Pull it tight a little bit. I'm going to take a look at my buttons and see, like, this one's a little high. These are going to sit a little bit lower, so I'm just going to kind of move those where they need to go. Okay. All right, now I'm going to continue. Okay, so I'm here. I'm going to go all the way to my bottom hole. Thread it through like that. Okay. I'm going to turn this around. It's easier if it's sitting flatter against the desk. Okay, and now I'm at the bottom part of my first signature, so these buttons, but again, I'm working from the bottom up. Okay, so here's my green button. That was the one I wanted on the bottom. So I'm going to start through the bottom of the button and then down through the top part. And I'm going to kind of, I know you probably can't see me. I'm going to kind of situate that where I wanted it. Okay, the next button, thread that on. I'm gonna let this go. Oh, I didn't realize my heart was going to be sideways. That's okay. Still cute. Trying to hold this and do this, but show you at the same time. It's kind of difficult. Okay. I'm going to kind of put that where I wanted it, right? Okay, now I'm going to thread the last one on. Again, starting through the bottom of the button. Okay, I'm going to kind of pull this tight, and I'm going to kind of situate it, and then I'm going to show you. So I'm just kind of situating where I want my buttons to go. Okay, it's not like you won't be able to move them after. Okay, now I'm going to come back through the center hole, just like how we normally sew a signature in. It's the same path. Okay, I'm going to pull this through. I'm going to take my needle off. Actually, I need this to be on the other side of my thread. Pull my thing out. Okay, and now I'm gonna, just like normal, I'm gonna pull these tight. And then I'm gonna take a look at my spine. So that's what we have. Okay, these guys need to move up a little, so I'm gonna kind of adjust them. Like that. Okay, and we're just gonna pull tight. And we're gonna tie our knot. I usually tie 3. You can use 2 if you want. For me, I'd rather just be safe than sorry. Okay, and we'll snip those. All right. We need these clips for our next signature. I hope that made sense. Oh, our signature looks so cute in there. And there's our buttons. Okay. I'm gonna move those. Really cute. Okay. So we're gonna do the other signature. So let's get it all where we want it to be. Look at our pages. See how these are just not, like I would like these centered more. So I'm gonna move these up a little. Just kind of fix them. That's better. There we go. That all looks good. Looking good. All right. Okay, let's clip it all together so it doesn't move. Again, I'm putting my thumb kind of in my spine, pushing all my papers down together. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Clip it. And then up here. And then here. Okay, let's punch our holes. Making sure we're right side up. Oh, we gotta mark them first. I'm gonna move my buttons. Just gonna scooch them off my little map here. I'm just gonna set this down in here. Just make a little pencil mark where my lines are. Sorry, I know I'm bumping you and I know my head's in the way. Gotta see what I'm doing though. Oh my goodness, sorry about that, guys. So just punch my holes. Where is my middle pencil mark? Oh, there it is. It's right there. And there. So sorry about that. You guys are probably looking at my gray hair, huh? All right, good to go. Okay, so let's cut our thread. So 1, 2, my thread's tangling. 3, and a little more. My needle gets like a buildup of the wax from the wax linen thread. I have to clean my needle. Okay. And here we go. Here's the next signature. Okay, so I have my buttons. These are my top ones, these are my bottom ones. Making sure my book's right side up and my signature's right side up. I'm gonna go through the middle. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. So this signature's kind of out of my way. Okay, are we right side up? We're right side up. Here we go. Through the middle. I'm gonna clip this because that worked really good. It was nice not to have to worry about pulling my tail through. I'm just gonna tuck that into my clip. Okay, so through the middle. Okay, and then we're going to the top, right? So to the top. So here's my top buttons, but I'm going from the bottom up. So I'm gonna grab my bottom button, thread it on. Kind of move it where it's gonna go, and we'll adjust these later. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab my middle button, this little cute little snowman, going for the bottom hole and then through the top hole. Okay, and I'm gonna slide him down my thread kind of to where he's gonna sit. I hope you guys can see that. And then the top button. So it's a little fiddly, but it's worth it, I think, especially on these little golden books. The little buttons on the spine, I just think are so cute. Okay, I'm gonna kind of move these. My little snowman wants to flip over. Okay, so I've got those. Now I'm gonna go through my top hole, which is right here, and through the top hole of my signature. Pull and tighten, kind of get those into place. I'll put them better later, but for right now, I'm just gonna kind of move them around a little. Okay, all right. Now, just like normal sewing in, we're going to the top hole here. I'm gonna turn my book around. Told ya, kind of fiddly. Go through this hole and through the hole of the cover. Pulling tight. Okay, and now I'm going to work with my bottom buttons, again, from the bottom up. Grab my little gingerbread man. And I know he's going to go kind of between these two buttons here. So I'm going to put him right there. And then my little star is going to go between the upper buttons that are on the other part here, like right like that. Okay, now we're going to go through the middle hole. There we go. Pull tight, and we'll adjust all of those as soon as we get everything all tightened up. And then I'll be able to show them to you better. Take the needle off, pull this out, and I'm going to pull tight. Make sure everything's snug. Yep. Tie 3 holes. 3 holes, 3 knots. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now, I'm going to stand it up and show you closer. Oh, our signatures fit in really nicely. So now what we can do is just kind of adjust them. Okay, I'm liking how these are spaced out, but our heart needs to move over a tad. So we'll just move that. Our gingerbread looks pretty good. Gingerbread man looks pretty good. Our star looks pretty good. And these look pretty good. So that's our button spine. Really cute. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. Okay, how much time are we at? Okay, we're at not even half an hour, so let's work on the cover a little bit. I wanted to just not do a whole lot, but I did want to put some lace here. And we have a lot of room for our book to kind of grow. Do you see that? So let's find some lace. I'm thinking some white lace would be really cute. Let me clean up here and get all my stuff put away. That way I don't lose my needle and things like that. I hope those instructions made sense, guys. It's a very, very fiddly process. It's not hard. You just have to make sure you map everything out, because it's, you know, when you're sewing in a signature, you're working, I'm gonna label this, and I'm gonna save it in my templates. So this is Little Golden Book 2-inch spine, 2 signatures, because I will use that again. So I'm gonna just put this over with my templates. Okay. Oopsie. Put my thread away. Okay. All right, so let's find some lace. Let's see here. My lace is a little buried. So let me get it. I've got it in the top drawer of my rolly cart, but I had a bunch of stuff on top of it. So let me see. Oh, you know what? I already see what I want to use. I want to use that. This is so pretty. I love this lace. I'm gonna have to go buy more of it because I've used so much of it since I bought it. But look at that, isn't that pretty? Okay, let's measure. I'm gonna measure more than what we need so that we have room to snip off. Okay, and I'll go ahead and do a second piece that's the same size. All right. Need to do it a little snip in. We've got some fuzzies on the edge here. So let me grab my little scissors. Kind of trying to find which is the right side, I think this is the right side. It's really hard for me to tell on lace sometimes. I've got some fuzzies here I just want to snip off. There we go. Okay. I'll grab my Fabri-Tac. That's so pretty. Okay, how far do I want to put this up? I'm thinking right about there. How far is that? Okay. Take off the goopies here. Okay, so I'm going to go right about here. Try and go in a straight line. And then I'm going to put one line kind of on the book cover. There. This fabric, this lace wants to bow. So I want to make sure that it's sitting straight. Cute. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. Okay, let me snip off the extra. I'm gonna get my fabric scissors so that I can make sure to get a good cut. I'm gonna do it from the wrong side, I think. There we go. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Oh, this is gonna be the cutest journal. Okay. This side too. All right. Come on. Hope y'all are doing good today. Tell me, are you doing Christmas in July in your craft room or no? Because no is okay too. I just love Christmas. It's my favorite time. I do it all year round. Okay, just gonna line this up in here and make sure that it's gonna lay straight because like I said, it wants to curve. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Well, I cut way too much lace. That's okay. I'll just snip it off. I'll put this in my bits because that's not us. I'll actually use that. It looks pretty small, but I will use it. Oopsie. Messed that up. And there we go. So we got our signature sewn in, we got our button spine done. I'm not gonna do anything else to the cover. I think that pretty fabric and that lace is all I'm gonna do. I don't think it needs anything else. I don't wanna distract from the front of the book here. So that's what we have. Yay, now we're ready to start decorating, which is the fun part. Actually working in the journal. Well, I think everything's the fun part. I enjoy the whole process of doing a journal, but now we get to work on the inside. Fun, fun, fun. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. And in our next video, we'll start working on the inside of this journal and putting in pockets and ephemera and decorating and all that fun stuff. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.